the inauguration day begins with a service at St. John's Episcopal Church, which was the VVIP ticket. Very difficult to get to. In fact, in order to get in the rotunda as a guest, you had to start in the St. John's Church. So only those that were in St. John's Church actually ended up getting tickets into the rotunda. Joe Rogan was there. Everyone was there. So we had a lot of time to burn. The president was a little bit late.
Church that Antifa tried to burn down?
Correct, right outside of the White House. And so kind of going around, and next thing you know, I run into the vice president of China.
As you do.
Yeah, just normal.
Can I just say, your life for the last while has been super weird.
Rather remarkable.
It's like,
and so I was like, I got to get a picture, right? So I go up. That's my picture with the vice president of China.
Wait,
nice
have
guy.
you tweeted this?
No.
Oh, gosh.
Not yet. This is exclusive thought crime stuff here.
There we go.
he saved it.
I
wanted to tweet it.
JD did post his.
Yeah, so I should probably post mine,
Or
right?
wasn't there something where JD didn't release it, but it was actually like a Chinese outlet released it or something?
I have no idea. So I don't know what this guy's name is. He was really nice. And so as soon as I get a picture of him, some guy with a camera, it's kind of one of those, it's like a stick with a camera. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a little stick, as if you're looking.
Like a selfie stick?
Yeah, but it's like some sort of a technology I haven't seen.
Okay.
Meaning it's like a stick, but it has like a mobile camera that kind of goes like this.
Oh, I know what you're
Like
talking
a-
about.
like
It's got like a oh gosh, no, I'm like brain fart. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's got
so
like
then-
a GoPro on
So he
it
goes
kind
up.
of
He's
thing.
like, "What's your name? What's your name?" I said, "My name's Jack Posobiec."
It's
okay?
Han Jong.
And so
Great.
no, I said, "My name's Charlie Kirk," and then I said, "Whatever." So then we go sit down, and if you've ever been to St. John's Episcopal Church, it's very tight, very close quarters. And I'm not saying anything private because everyone saw what was happening here. And so up on there's like this upper ring where you look down on the service. There's one of the CCP handlers is like filming the whole crowd.
Yeah.
He's filming everybody during the service.
So they can use facial
Is it
recognition
like one of these
later.
things? Like where it's got the little
That thing.
the-
thing. But no, so he's filming it. So here's the Secret Service who's like, you can't bring water into the church.
Right.
And there's a Chinese Communist Party agent, government officials, like filming everybody. And so all of a sudden, some of the White House staff is like, they're starting to point up here, and he's like going down there. They are so brazen.
Charlie, you know what else?
About espionage.
It's a 3-axis stabilization camera where it kind of like
Yeah, exactly.
it always
So
looks
you know what else wouldn't surprise
Listening
me?
to our conversations.
You know what else wouldn't surprise me is if they had some type of signal collector on them as well, so that if as the vice president Han Jung, if he was going around someone, if he had a signal collector on him, then what they could do is time the video up with the signal collector. So when Charlie Kirk walks up, then boom, so did you have your cell phone on you?
Yeah.
Was your cell phone on?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So then, boom, that signal, that number.
I'm changing my phone tonight,
That
just
number
so clear.
pops up in the signal collector.
By the way.
And he can say, "Oh, this number must be associated with this person."
So here's the thing. My phone has been like
Not that I would know
on
anything about
fire
that.
since
No,
I've been in
I
the
think
city.
this is why. I think it's because they're dragnetting my phone. I'm telling you.
Well, you and I both.
I'm
the
not
battery-
joking, by the way.
battery-
That's like
no, I
that's
know.
like not even.
That's like
really
not even like
That's-
sophisticated.
That's like
China
low level
stuff.
No,
spy
that's like-
game stuff.
So
That's low
but
level.
anyway, what I found so amazing is that no one's told this guy to stop until like 20 minutes in, and he's using a little gimbal, scanning the whole audience. Like he's over the balcony. Imagine like you're sitting down here, I'm over the balcony, and by the way, this is not like a schlepping audience. You had Scott Bessent, you had Mark Zuckerberg, you had the CEO of TikTok, you had Jeff Bezos, you had Sam Altman.
Don't forget
you had
Jeff Bezos,
Sundar
significant
Pichai.
other.
What?
I said, don't forget Jeff Bezos' significant other. I don't know her
They
name.
were all in church, right?
And her daughters.
So they're all in church, and he is scanning every single one of them from the balcony, doing signal collecting. God knows
Yeah,
what.
because if the problem with the signal collector like that is when you go into a crowd, you're going to get all the signals, but they're not going to be associated with individuals, and that's why you need to pair it with the video so you can determine, okay, Charlie Kirk walks by, and then boom, we collected the signal. Then
You
Jeff
have to
Bezos walks
remember-
by, and then boom, we got the signal.
You have to remember this was happening while Joe Biden was still president, and we should never forget this. We should just never forget how Joe Biden was the worst freaking president ever. This is a true headline. I'm reading it verbatim from Politico. This happened in 2022. DOJ shuts down China-focused anti-espionage program. The China initiative
such a good
is
point.
being cast aside largely because of perceptions that it unfairly painted U.S. residents of Chinese origin as disloyal. They stopped doing China counter-espionage because they were worried it was racist, that their China counter-espionage focused too much on people from China. They
And
hated
then
America.
Somebody at the pre-ceremony for the presidential inauguration, hours before Trump runs the government, is brazenly spying on every incoming cabinet member. And then finally, about 10 minutes in, someone goes up to him and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Stop it. Knock it off." And everyone in the White House staff, to their credit, was like, "What's going on up there?" Like, people were pointing, and they don't care. They just, like this, scanning conversations, the whole thing.
And for all I know, they've probably got AI loaded on there. They've probably got facial recognition. They could have something where they could even have something where, depending on the fidelity. I mean, you talk about Han Zheng. This guy's the vice president of China. Oh, funny enough, I actually met him like almost 20 years ago when he was the mayor of Shanghai, and because he happened to be the mayor when I lived there, and they could have collections on there with high enough fidelity that they were picking up every conversation in the room at the same time, and then using AI to isolate voices and break it out so that they could later go back and listen to every single individual private conversation.
Well, by the
that
way,
was
the
going
most
on.
common camera, right, that with a gimbal, I guess is what it's called, is DJI.
DJI.
Which is
the Chinese drone.
yeah. Which, by the way, we were contracting at both federal and state governments, like a lot of them, and I think during the first Trump administration, they flagged it as like a potential spyware.
Do you believe all this that I'm saying, Jack? This is very believable to you, right?
I would be surprised if they weren't, to be honest.
What amazed me, and it was such a microcosm of the failure of Biden, because that was Biden's government. Trump had no power at that time. Is just like the indifference. Like, no one who is currently on government was like, yeah, they're just.
Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk's going like, hey.
Not only that, like, by the way, Sergio's turning around. He's like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like this and that, and like pointing. Like, at least 10 people are noticing that the Chinese delegation is using some sort of Chinese listening device scanning. It wasn't just like he was like over the balcony like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't being subtle.
No, there was no subtlety.
Yeah.
So that's my CCP story. And I met the JD Vance of China.
The JD Vance of China. It's fair enough. It's a good
Yeah,
description.
he was.
By the way, how did I do in my picture? I think I passed the line test, right?
No, it's hilarious, by the way. You're just like straight up and down. You're like, I can just imagine your thought process in that moment, like, don't be too friendly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
Yeah, this guy. I mean,
See?
this guy. So to give you a little background on him, so having been he was the mayor of Shanghai when. But the mayor in China is not the highest position in the city. The
It's like
highest
a province or city,
the highest,
right?
Well, Shanghai is kind of provincial level, correct, which is correct. Beijing is similar. So, but that's not the highest ranking official in an area because whoever's highest ranking is always going to be your party secretary. So the party secretary is always going to outrank whoever the official mayor is. And the party secretary of Shanghai, when this guy was the mayor, was a guy by the name of Xi Jinping. So this guy and Xi Jinping go way, way, way back. He was instrumental in getting Xi Jinping picked to the Politburo all the way back in 2012 when he ascended up, and to the presidency, quote unquote, chairmanship when he came up. So he's been along with them.
Well,
so this is one of his most trusted
Even
guys.
the fact that Trump chose to invite President Xi and then he sent his vice president was fairly remarkable and newsworthy.
It's not really done. No, it's
Yeah.
it's not something that's really done. Foreign leaders I don't think have ever come to a presidential inauguration before. It's something, and it's funny too because Trump clearly it's just free money that's just sitting on the table and he just goes and picks it up because obviously in the back of his head he's remembering King Charles's coronation ceremony, which was only a couple of months ago, and all the world leaders went to that. So why wouldn't they come to his inauguration ceremony? It just makes sense.
Well, it's also, I think, an acknowledgement of the dynamic that has existed with China when Trump first started tariffing China in the first administration. They are the big geopolitical foe, and so it's a power move to say, hey, listen, like I'm going to be really tough on you, but hey, we can get along.
Yeah, it's actually funny because Trump is extremely popular within China.
Is he?
Oh yeah, like the Chinese people love him. They can't get enough of him. There's like if you go on the Chinese version of TikTok, you'll find all sorts of people doing like impersonations of Trump and using like Trump impersonations in ads, and they think he's great.
Well, I think Trump is experiencing a boon in popularity, not only domestically but internationally. I mean, Raheem Kassam, mutual friend, says that in London now, you'll see tons of MAGA hats.
The Wall Street Journal famous Raheem Kassam, by the way, you see that piece on his new club this morning?
I did. Yeah.
Have you guys been by yet?
Butterworth's?
Butterworth's.
Yeah, I was there this week. Yes.
Yeah. It's a Charlie.
I
have you gone
may
yet?
or may not be there tomorrow. We'll see.
You got to go,
What is
man.
it?
Raheem's new club downtown. It's right on Capitol Hill. Had huge profile in the Wall Street Journal this morning.
Well, everybody, I will tell
really,
you, one
really
of the
well
most
done.
common questions
Really?
I've gotten from journalists is, where's the new haunt? Where's the new hang? Because in Trump 1.0, it was Trump.
Waldorf has still had some people going there.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But no, I don't really know the new play. It used to be Trump Hotel. That was like,
Yeah, I mean, that was.
it's Butterworth's.
Well, it depends. There's different cliques, right? I think that's certainly one of them. Anyways.
all right, guys. Thank you for watching Thought Crime. God bless you guys, and make sure you stay free of CCP spying.